Today we are going to have a look at the KV2 1939. You guys asked me to make a guide about it, and I have to admit that I needed some time to get used to it. When I was climbing up the Russian tech tree, I actually skipped the KV2. It is slow in every aspect, and at that time it just didn't fit my playstyle. But I gave it another shot and found out how to play it. Welcome to my new video. Tip number 1. Avoid close combat. So even in a full down tier match, your enemies will be able to penetrate you from the front. There just are too many flat surfaces on the KV2. Even when you bounce the first shot, the enemy can shoot again at least 2 more times before you have reloaded. This tank has an unbelievably long reload time of over 30 seconds. Also, the turret rotation is very slow. So I play it as a support tank no matter if I have an up tier or down tier match. Help your team from the second or third row and stay at about 400 to 600 meters distance to the enemy. 800 meters is already too far away because the shells have a low velocity and therefore it is harder to hit the weak spots or even any tank at all. And when you miss a shot with that reload time, this can be really frustrating. Peek and boom. Since the Russian tanks have almost no gun depression, you want to hide your tank behind a rock, a building or wall. Detect an enemy, peek out of the solid cover, shoot and back up again to reload or even relocate. Due to the long reload time, you can take your time and go to another position where your help is needed or just escape. Actually, you always want to have an escape route for the time when the enemy pushes your position. Also be aware that this tank is huge and you want to double check if your turret really is behind solid cover. Tip number 3. Use high explosive shells. Well, this was new to me. Actually, I don't use high explosive shells since they have less penetration than the regular shells you start with. But with the KV2, I have a lot of fun using them. The point is that the stock shell, the anti-concrete shell, has a massive size. So I struggle to hit the weak spots from further away, and although it has a good penetration value, some of my shots didn't penetrate the enemy. As I said before, this is frustrating with a reload time that long. I also tried the PB35 shell, but it has a slower velocity than the other 2 shells, and in the end I stick to the high explosive round. Actually, I just shoot at the enemy. I try to aim for some weak spots, but in the end the explosion and the damage will find its way. Even if I just destroy the barrel, both tracks and some crew members with one shot, this is a lot of fun. The good thing is that the chance of a ricochet is less than with the other shells, because the shell will explode when it hits a surface. The bad news is that this also counts for trees, fences and the additional side skirts of some tanks that are designed to eat the high explosive shells. So keep that in mind. There is also the possibility to shoot on the ground beneath the enemy and the explosion will destroy the enemy through the bottom plate of the tank. I think I have never achieved this and I'm curious how this might work for you guys. Let me know about it in the comments. Considering those 3 tips, I had a lot of fun in my matches. Keep in mind to avoid close combat and to plan an escape route and you're good to go. I hope you liked this video. Like, subscribe and leave a comment if you want to. Hope to see you in game soon.